Sup guys, Junkins here. I want to share with you the tale of my journey through the Necropolis League and my thoughts on the changes that happened. Was it good? Was it disappointing? Or maybe it was the best league so far? I've got an idea for a little giveaway. By the way, stay with me if you want to have a chance to win a character in PoE Necropolis Trade League. The starter. Fearless Dump 00 Explosive Trap Trickster. Yes, I'm a weird guy, and I actually enjoy traps. Character was decent for what I planned. I wanted it to clear Atlas, all invitations, and do a T17. All went well, quite slowly, but in the end, it's a bosser. And it was definitely a mapping league this time. Didn't hit the spot. But if you want a bosser for the league start, I would recommend that build for sure. The character for a triple deals well with the maps. You can configure your main link with additional area of effect for better clear and concentrated effect for single target. The character excels when you make it just for bossing, and that's how it's supposed to go. I might have made a better choice of a starter, but again managed to do all what I required with not too much of investment. I invested around 40 divines total. And I got that currency with a few lucky boss drops, and expedition maps also did some essences, but on the trapper it was a hit or miss. I either managed to blow up essence instantly, which was very satisfying, but there were some hasted freaks that would outrun my traps all the time and made me mad. Link to the build guide in the description. Thank you Fearless Dump 00 for the guidance. The guy knows the trap game. I had one very memorable moment on this char. I bought a fractured chest to craft something nice for myself. Started with perfect fossils to get that quality, and then this happened. So yeah, that was the most simple good craft I have ever done. Finishing strat on this build was Guardian rushing with destructive play, and the biggest issue I had with it was not really earning stuff from All Flame. When I was rushing, I felt I'm doing a wrong thing, because this league it was very profitable to clear map to a 0, so also not a good way to play for a trapper. I got bored after around 40 sets and decided it's time to reroll. New elemental hit, Deadeye. And then comes my own build. Decent elemental bows were cheaper than single T1 fracture base in previous leagues, so as a bow enjoyer I thought, why not try it out? I was a little bit concerned with changes to Sniper's Mark this league, and T-Shot is my love, so I thought this league I'll skip it, because I wasn't thinking that I'll be able to get enough currency to make a viable bow build, as I thought it would just require much more than previous leagues. Bows were cheap, and love for the bow builds don't disappear just like that. I was also lucky to get Animis before price went sky high. Got it for 33 divines, it was also a reason to do a bow build. And it turned out as an awesome map cleaning char. But that's about it honestly. My usual go-to bow build was Omniscience Tornado Shot. Very good damage, can be made somewhat tanky for a mapper, but also get enough DPS to melt most of the bosses, which provides a universal character, my favorite kind. This build totally lacked the single target melt. That's the trouble with Nimis. You have to be on top of the monsters to maximize the damage. And you know, building a tanky Deadeye isn't cheap and easy, but mapping was fine as fuck. I zoomed through loads of jungle valleys to earn currency for Mageblood. My strategy was very simple, maxed out ambush with added necropolis, most mechanics blocked, and maximized map modifiers to get as much as possible from embers. Then 2 ambush scarabs, 1 for additional reopen chance and 40% increased influenced mob pack size, or nice drop out of Exarch minions. It was simple and maps went by quite quickly. The drops were pretty consistent. Basically, every time I saw a decent mob on map device like any sort of rarity quantity boost, I would throw a Syndicate Ember on it. And that was a full equipment of scarabs there. Thank you very much. This strat basically stuck with me till the end of the league. Sometimes I used Tattoo Omen Knights or Skite Embers when I had no good mods or embers and I couldn't be arsed to trade for some. For the conversion mods, Exile Ember, flat currency drop rate, rats or frogs. Simple and efficient. All other low value embers were thrown to a 0.1D priced tab, and it actually made me quite a few divines. Bulk selling was king. A crafting highlight of the league and my best graveyard craft was done on this arrow-spewing zoomer. It took 2 tries, but I managed to craft Fractured, Crit Multi, +1 Frenzy Gloves, finishing the craft with Deafening Zeal Essence, and it ended up being the most expensive item I made so far. So it opened a way to get a new build, which was Crouching Tuna Splitting Steel Trickster. I always wanted to make a Splitting Steel char, but previously I just had different chars that were fun and good enough for content that I was doing, and getting a splitter to a same level would usually exceed my budget. Elemental Hit was a cool zoom mapper, but it was not meant to do T17s, at least not on the investment level there was. And I was already bored with T16s. Sold the Deadeye gear, kept Mageblood and Nimis, found Crouching Tuna video on the char and I liked it, so I went with it. Super powerful character, very tanky, good damage. Once it was online I killed all Ubers with no stress at all. If you got coin and don't mind mediocre clear, it's a great char to build. As with starter build, link to the build guide in the description. Thank you Crouching Tuna for the guide. It was my most expensive character to date and I felt that performance justified the price. On the first boot up it wasn't really complete. Low-end magic jewels for Adorned, the most basic roll on weapon and unoptimal clusters. But still, char was already pretty powerful, it wasn't as zoomy as Deadeye, but Mageblood with Quicksilver is enough to have a good speed. Since the clear was mid and I didn't feel ready for T17s yet, I went for Essence Spam. And oh boy, was it good. 2 scarabs with additional essences, 1 with +1 tier, and stability scarab on top to complete the device. I was throwing remnants anywhere there was any potential and kept focus on just rushing through the map and killing essences. And that was fun as heck, probably the most fun I had mapping this league honestly. Maps of choice, Atoll and Promenade, the maps went very fast and I earned quite a lot of currency, which allowed me to get good jewels, better gems and just optimize character for further progression. After that I've done some T17s, earned even more currency, min-maxed the character even further, finished league challenges and that pretty much fulfilled my trade league. For the last challenge with bosses I decided to farm my own Asiri temples and then do a gamba. I had 14 Locus of Corruption and 15 Doriani Institutes. I prepared 14 perfectly rolled ephemeral edges, grazed them all with attack speed enchant, bought 5 of each clean level 3 empower, enlighten and enhance. The results? Well, I bricked all the swords and hit 1 gem. It was enhance. Maybe if I had a single decent hit on enlighten or ephemeral, I would think about rerolling again with all that currency I collected, but all the face kinda burned me out. The SSF Adventure. With Trade League done, I still wanted to play some more, just didn't have any target to get to, so I decided to try out SSF. Went with a classic, Toxic Rain Pathfinder. The journey was fun, the best, but as I realized later, worst actually, thing was getting my Wilma before finishing the campaign. It allowed me a very smooth progression up the rep maps. This drop was a moment of realization for me, discovering the reason SSF is so enjoyable. When you get a decent drop on trade, it's like, okay, cool, that's 10C, have to sell it. It doesn't really provide much joy, right? You just keep on grinding and have the reward later at some point. And here? Dude, I screamed out of happiness when I got that crucial unique item drop for me. Fuck me, dude! Seriously? Even though in a bigger picture it's not really rare nor expensive. If it was trade I would be like, cool. Here I was like, oh my god, dude, what the fuck has happened? What's that RNG? Why was it also the worst? Because my char was kinda strong early. Once I got 6 elbow with +2 gems, which also, in my opinion, was quite early, just before hitting the red maps, I knew that further upgrades would take a lot of grind. And since I was already playing for quite some time, I knew I don't want to grind too much. Went ahead with clearing Atlas, got up to Exarch and Ether, killed them with no issues, and that's about it. My summary on SSF: if you wanna take it slow, do your own thing, and you don't chase meta, high scores or high investment characters, try SSF out, it's great. Personally I think that starting SSF after already completing the lead con trade just didn't give me enough of chase target to go further. I think a great change would be to split challenges for trade and SSF. Different challenges, different rewards. It would probably encourage trade players to go SSF and vice versa. Maybe do both leagues and have more fun, which isn't just a repetition of things you've done already. With my league story covered, let's get to the good, the bad and both. Starting with the bad. T17 map device unlock. Why the change? I didn't have a problem to do it, but I haven't done a single 5-way this league. With XP change, whole 5-way could use a rework. Some better rewards at least, cause now you just have to count that you drop a good number on a timeless jewel, and you probably won't if you don't spam the shit out of it. League was buggy, strategies got nerfed day by day, too many changes happened in short span of time, which left many players angry that they couldn't try out fat strats exploited by best guys. It didn't affect me that much, I was doing my thing, the way I like, but I completely understand the frustration and I don't think it's the good way to patch out the league. Simulacrum. Even worse now, cause maps are so much better to farm scarabs, and character power makes wave 30 not that much of a challenge anymore. I would really like to see GGG change those up. I think it's in a similar place as 5-way as of now. You will get rewarded someday, but it's tedious grind with not much rewards in between rare valuable drops. The good changes. Scarabs, scarabs, scarabs! Strategies easier to test and run, no more filling quad with compasses, buying them in bulk was a pain in the ass, I never liked them. But you had to use them to have an optimized strategy, and that's thankfully gone. Buying scarabs in bulk is easy, you just put them in the device and you run your maps. Simple and fun. Just a tiny downside, new scarab tab. It freaking changed just when I got used to it. But still, I loved that change and ease of doing weird scarab combos it brought. Big plus from me. Additional Atlas trees. Well, not much to say here, it's just a QOL change that I thought about before, definitely a big thumbs up. Easy XP with shrines. This is the first league I have ever gotten to level 100, and I did it by myself. I'm loving it. I never liked the fact that to get that 100, you either have to be super skillful guy, which I'm not, to not die during the next 300 maps you are going to run, and yes, I am softcore enjoyer, my builds are usually squishy, I like big damage more. Or you have to spend quite a bit of currency on TFT to get boosted in a 5-way, and I hate getting boosted, even if I pay for it. Also getting a new char up to a decent level took no time, and I think that's a very good change. Changes that kinda slapped, but also sucked. Graveyard. Incredible crafts possible, but entry level was very high. If you are not an experienced crafter, your results were shit. I think that clunkiness was actually good, it balanced out the power you can get. You had to make an effort for a good outcome, and that is good. T17s. Nice to have some more hard content, but as in Graveyard, high entry level, quantity of loot so much higher than T16. Emo too much actually. Half time spent doing them up was time spent to pick up drop and stash them. This sucked balls honestly. Not even mentioning that you care about portals to get the loot back to the base, not because you may die. Makes sense that hard content is rewarding, but widening the gap between casuals and hardcore players is a little bit of a problem. Embers. Literally customize your map. Great thing to be able to do, although being forced to run leak mechanic on every single map wasn't my favorite thing. For example, like with Guardian Rush strats I mentioned earlier. Veiled Orbs. Oh, how I loved to get my Omniscience ring with this stable method of getting suffixes plus suffix block and Vaislam for almost guaranteed decent life. This is gone now, and I'm kinda sad, but on the other hand, I like that Icelink Slam got orbed. I actually wanted that change earlier, I just wish the drop rate would be slightly higher so the price would be around the price of Icelink Slam in the past, not like 3 or 4 times higher. Final thoughts. Not gonna lie, I did enjoy this league, but I'm disappointed in a way. Kept me for least amount of time out of any previous leagues, while still getting that 40-40 and completing all available content. I had my most expensive char, I made some dope crafts, but the chase ended just too quickly. Maybe I was lucky with the drops, maybe I'm just getting better at earning currency. Whatever it was, it made an OP build possible for me much sooner than I would expect. And once I get to that level, I don't find much else to have fun with. Maybe it's actually a good thing, getting done with the game in a few weeks, not 2 months, just be able to swap to something else sooner. So about that giveaway, if you get 169 likes, top comment wins Tensomiota gear. This is Tensomiota, the splitting steel, the guy that filmed the video while cleaning T17. He's got some mana issues, but other than that, pretty strong car. The deadline is 24th of May. So, click that like button, subscribe because I say so, and share this video with your friends so we can reach that magical 169 likes. And I'm off to D4 bed. See yas! What's your take? Did you like the leak? Was Graveyard too tedious? Was collecting loot from T17s enjoyable? Did you love Scar pre-work as much as I did? Let me know down in the comments. All pubs are in description. And I hope I'll see you the next time. Bye bye!